Hey friends, welcome back to This Homemade Life. If this is your first time here, my name is Courtney and it's time to see what we had for dinner. So every week here on my channel, I love to share the meals that I cook for my family. Sometimes I try a lot of new recipes, sometimes I share some family favorites. Sometimes I cook big meals, and other times we have weeks where I really didn't cook much. Welcome to one of those weeks. So it was our last week off for summer break. We are a homeschool family, we go year round, so by summer break, I mean we had like 3 weeks off. We do start back doing our schoolwork on Monday, so the day after you're seeing this video, we will be back in our little schoolroom starting 3rd grade. But because it was the last week, I had like a lot of stuff going on. My kids went to go see my parents, and of course I took them down there, and then I had to get them back. And my in-laws came to visit. It was my husband's birthday. So it's also my oldest son's birthday. So I feel like cooking just didn't happen the way I planned. You know, sometimes I think we all have weeks like that though, right? Where you have so much going on that meals just are not what you expected or not what you planned, stuff like that. I did manage to film 3 meals for you guys, and I'm sorry, I feel kind of like I let you guys down, but some weeks just kind of, I don't know, they spiral a little bit for me. And I said going into this week, I felt like it was going to be like that, and I mean, it totally was. Anyway, the meals that we did have this week were awesome. No complaints here. We did try that chicken sausage that I got from Sam's Club in my grocery haul the previous week. Oh my gosh, that stuff is amazing. I will definitely be buying that again, and I kind of feel like that was a nice, healthier meal option. So also got around to finally making some paella, so stay tuned for that. I think it's the last part of the video that I do the paella. You guys know how excited I was about that, so stick around to see how it turned out. All right, I guess that's enough chatting. Make sure you hit the buttons, you like the video, subscribe to the channel. I do this every week, and I've started to add some new stuff to my channel. I'm working on new video ideas. If you guys have some things you'd like to see, be sure and let me know down below. But I did just start something I'm calling Fun Food Fridays, and it will air not every Friday, but a couple of Fridays every month on my channel. Just some fun food options. They're not really meals, they're not dinners, they just kind of fall in a different category, and I thought, well, maybe they deserve their own little video. So if you haven't seen it already, check out my Fun Food Friday. All right, let's see what it is we had for dinner. Happy Monday, friends. We're keeping it simple with some brats for dinner tonight. I've talked about how much we enjoy these, and I thought I would just share this quick and easy method for how I make mine. I like to use my air fryer, and as you can see, I have them well spaced out so that the air can get all around them while they cook. I have them on the little wire basket part so that every bit of them can get nice and brown and toasty. I set my air fryer to 375, and I cook these for 14 minutes. And because I do have this nice wire basket, I actually don't have to flip them over. But if you are not on something as, like, I don't know, clear as this, there's hardly anything to keep the air from getting to the meat. But if yours is on a more solid kind of pan or something, you'll want to flip them over halfway through. But anyway, 14 minutes, 375, they get brown and delicious, and they kind of get a nice pop to them, and it's the perfect temperature to cook these. All right, fresh out of the air fryer, here we go. We've got brats. See, they got some color on them. They are beautiful and crispy and delicious. I mean, just as good as coming off of a grill. So if you're in a time crunch, you're looking for something quick, air fryer method for these is fabulous. All right, guys, here is my brat. I like it with some stone ground mustard and some sauerkraut. I know it's like a lot of salty flavors, but that's just how I like it. If you guys don't know, we just recently started making brats. I'd never had them until recently. And it's funny because I actually really don't like hot dogs. Like, I just really don't like them. I love these bratwursts. They are amazing. So if you are not a fan of sauerkraut, let me throw out a suggestion for you. If you can find one like this. This is an artisanal, is that how you say it? Sauerkraut. But it's got craft beer. You can taste a bit of the beer in there, but it's not nearly as sour as like the generic sauerkraut that you get at the store in the regular cans and jars. A nicer sauerkraut, which I think this one only costs about $3, and it stays good in the fridge for a long time. It makes all the difference in the world. Even my husband will tell you that. I also like stone ground mustard. It's not as strong as yellow mustard. And this particular one I actually ordered from Fredericksburg. And it's got almost a sweetness to it. It's really, really good. But just changing the sauerkraut give it a shot if you guys think you don't like it, because you may find out you actually love it. Anyway, kept it simple on just a regular hot dog bun, and that is dinner tonight. Hey my friends, welcome to another night of dinner. So I feel like I have just really not been good to y'all this week. I feel like my meals are slacking, but let me just clarify, like, my two youngest were with my parents. My husband's birthday was this week. We went out to dinner. Just different stuff going on. So I just didn't cook like I normally do. That's why I chose to go ahead and show the brats that I made over the weekend. I filmed them before and then didn't show them, but I decided to show them this week. If you don't know that cooking method, it is fantastic and so easy. But tonight we're gonna make, this wasn't even on, I don't even think I mentioned this on my meal planner. You guys saw that I bought the sausage, but I don't know if I actually mentioned I was making the dish, but we're gonna make like a sheet pan meal. It's gonna be some chicken sausage, and then I've got onion, 1 zucchini, 1 squash, and some Brussels sprout hanging out over here on the side. So we're gonna go ahead and get to chopping on all these and put them in this bowl, and that way everything's kind of ready to go. I think I'm gonna quarter my Brussels sprouts because, like I said, they're gonna roast in the oven, and I don't want them to take forever because it is hot and I don't want the oven on for a terribly long period of time. So I'll cut them smaller so they cook faster. Next, I'm going to work on the squash. I just got 1 squash and 1 zucchini because this is actually going to make plenty of food. So that's all I really needed. Next, I have my zucchini. All right, and last I have my onion. I started to sprout, so I definitely want to use this guy up. I'm gonna just use half of it for this. The other half I'm gonna slice up and we'll use it tomorrow. I have company coming over and we're doing like a sandwich board, so that'll come in handy. Perfect time to slice once and use it twice. All right, the last thing we're chopping is some sausage. I got these at Sam's Club. It was a 3-pack and it had 3 different flavors. It's chicken sausage, and one was like honey habanero, and one was pear gouda, and then this one is mozzarella, garlic, and artichoke. All right, so this is ready to go. I'm gonna set it aside. We have one more thing we need to do. So the only other thing I will add though is I have these hanging out in my fridge. I washed them, and we haven't actually eaten any yet, and I need to do something with them. So I'll probably throw a couple of them on the very top of this. We'll see. This is a pretty big bowl of food, so we'll see. But we're gonna make a dressing to go on top, or like a seasoning or something of flavor, so that this has a little something extra. So let's get our ingredients together for that. Okay, I pulled a bunch of ingredients out, and I'm just gonna kind of wing a sauce for this. So I'm gonna start out with some olive oil, a couple of tablespoons, probably like 3 tablespoons. Then I'm gonna add in a little Worcestershire sauce. I love this stuff. If you don't like this flavor, you don't have to add it in. I love Worcestershire sauce so much. So I'm probably gonna do like a tablespoon at least. It just has this really nice, big, bold flavor with some tang. I don't know, I love it. I think it's great. I'm probably putting in a little bit over a tablespoon just because I love the stuff. I'm gonna add in a little maple syrup. I thought about honey because I wanted some sweetness, but I think the maple syrup will be even better. No more than a tablespoon, just a little. Then I'm gonna add in some pepper. Some garlic salt. Thought about garlic powder, but I thought, well, this is kind of all in one, so we'll do this. Probably doing about half a teaspoon there. You could do fresh garlic if you want. I am not, because it will burn probably. I'm gonna cook this at like 400 or so, and I really worry that it'll burn. So I just decided to go with garlic powder. My last ingredient is some smoky paprika. Again, like half a teaspoon or so. You guys know I love this stuff. There we go. I'm gonna mix this all up. Smells really good. And of course you'll want to taste it and see if there's anything you want to add. Maybe you want some kind of zing to it. Maybe you want a little vinegar in there or something. I don't know. I'm going to probably keep it simple like this. Oh, that's really good. Really good. But I think I'm gonna add a little bit more maple syrup because the garlic salt with the Worcestershire is pretty stout, so probably another tablespoon or so. Because I do want a little bit of sweetness to this. Perfect. That's it right there. We're just gonna pour this over the top of those vegetables right before we pop them in the oven. We're gonna bake it, and that'll be dinner. You can always serve like some rice or something on the side if you want. I think I'm actually just gonna throw some garlic knots on there. I picked some up. I had to run to Walmart to pick up some birthday stuff. So I picked up some stuff off the clearance bread rack. They had garlic knots. I think I'm just gonna pop some of those in the oven with this and call it dinner. And that's a lot of food right there. So I think we're gonna be good. All right, friends. I poured that like saucy dressing stuff I made over the top, mixed it really well, and I've laid this out on a cookie sheet. As you can see, I've got a big cookie sheet. I did line it with parchment paper because I didn't want anything to get like burned on or stuck or anything. I'm trying to get it, you know, like as flat as I can. So I've got my oven heating. I've got it at 425. So as soon as it's ready, I'm gonna go ahead and pop this in there for, I'm gonna say like 20 to 30 minutes. We'll see. I do have a really big sheet pan, but I'll let you know when I pull it out how long it cooked. All right, friends, there is dinner. It roasted in the oven for about 25 minutes. It smells so good, like so stinking good. That is a big sheet pan. It's an oversized one. It's a lot of dinner. And then down here, I just did, like I said, garlic knots that I picked up on a clearance rack. Ignore my rusty baking sheet. But that is dinner for tonight. It smells so good. I cannot wait to dig in. Hey friends, it's the final dinner of the week. We're gonna make paella. You know, as I think I probably mentioned in my intro and outro, I'm sure I did. I did not get to make very many of the meals on my meal plan this week. That's okay. That's life. That happens. But there's one meal I did not want to skip out on, and that's the paella. I've never even had this before. I've seen it all over TV, you know, like cooking shows and stuff, and it always just looks so good. I'm a huge fan of pretty much anything with rice, so I mean, it's right up my alley. I didn't want to not make this. I've been so looking forward to trying it. So here we go. Heat up a little bit of oil in the skillet, and then you add your chorizo. Like, I don't know how this is gonna cook. Chorizo, typically when I cook it, it just kind of melts down, really. I don't know if this is gonna do that or not. I've never worked with it like this. It kind of seems softer than I expected, so it might do that. I don't think it really matters because the flavor is still gonna be there, and I mean, that's what we're after. But anyway, I went ahead and got the chorizo in, and I'm gonna let that cook alongside, well, I'm gonna make a mess first. But I'm gonna let that cook alongside an onion. I actually have this left over. It's not quite a whole onion, but we're gonna go ahead and toss it in and just let it cook with the chorizo. We're gonna cook this for, I don't know, probably 3 to 5 minutes, just until the chorizo looks mostly done, and then we're gonna start adding in other ingredients. All right, we're cooking along. I've added in a little bit of garlic now that the onions are softened and the chorizo has been cooking, so we're gonna add in, I have a little bit of salt and pepper. Now this recipe calls for chicken stock, which I'm using the chicken base that you mix in with water, and that stuff is super salty, so I'm gonna skip the salt for now. All right, we're gonna also add in 3/4 of a teaspoon of paprika. It just calls for regular. I only have smoked because that's how I roll. Use what you have. I really don't see how smoky flavor is gonna hurt this one bit. All right, and then we're gonna add in something else. What was it? Oh, saffron. Okay, so saffron, I know it can be a little bit expensive and intimidating. I got mine at H-E-B, and it is a store brand, so that made it super affordable. And I will say, I think I paid like $5 and some change for this saffron, and I have used it quite a few times because really, like, just a pinch goes a very long way. It doesn't take much, so you're not going to just blow right through it. I'm just going to kind of sprinkle just a little tiny bit out. It's literally just a pinch. That's it. You don't need any more or any less. So a little goes a long way. So now that that is in there, we are going to go ahead and add the rice and stir it around and get it coated in all the juices and everything that's in the pan. Okay. It's nice and coated really, really well. And then we need to go ahead and add in our chicken stock. So it is 3.5 cups of chicken stock to 1.5 cups of arborio rice. It needs to be arborio rice. It needs to be very short grain rice. That is actually super, super important in these types of recipes. And that is what I have here. I've actually had it in my pantry for a little while because H-E-B had it on sale a while back. It was like buy one, get one free on all the different types of rices. So I had some in my pantry. All right, so I'm gonna pour in my 3.5 cups of chicken broth. There we go. We're gonna stir this around. I wish you guys could smell this. It smells so delicious. Like, I cannot wait to eat this. I'm actually just gonna serve it with a little bit of garlic bread on the side. Some of those garlic knots, probably from Walmart. They're our favorite. I'm keeping it really simple. So we're gonna let this, let's see, let me pull my paper over. I don't wanna lie to you guys. All right, we're gonna let this lightly simmer over a low heat for 15 minutes, it says. No stirring. So I'm gonna turn that down to low. It doesn't say anything about putting a lid on it. So I guess we're not gonna do that. Once the 15 minutes is up, we're gonna go ahead and add the shrimp and kind of nestle them down in the liquid that's left in the pan and cook for 10 more minutes until all the liquid has been absorbed. And then we're gonna throw in 1/2 cup of frozen peas and they will just cook in the residual heat, and that's the paella. Actually, I think you're supposed to top it with some fresh parsley, which I don't have, so we're not gonna do that step. But we're just gonna let this simmer for like 15 minutes. I'm going to keep an eye on it and we'll check back in here pretty quickly. All right, this has been cooking for 15 minutes. There's not a lot of liquid left, so I'm gonna go ahead and add in the shrimp, and it says to nestle them down in what liquid is still there. It looks like I left a piece of shell in there. That's not good eats. All right, this is just a pound of shrimp, deveined, peeled, tails off. All right, I've got those guys in there. And then I'm just going to make sure that they are kind of nestled down in the rice like that. You know, it doesn't take much to cook shrimp, so I'm not too terribly worried about it, but we'll let them go for about, I don't know, it says 10 minutes. I don't know if it's gonna take 10 more minutes, so we'll see, but we're gonna let them cook. All right, as you guys can see, the shrimp are about done. So I've got about 1/2 cup of frozen peas left in this bag. And I'm gonna go ahead and pour them in. The recipe does specify frozen peas. Get those in. And I'm going to give everything a stir. And I'm going to leave it on low for just maybe 1 more minute just to make sure that those peas heat all the way through since they are completely frozen. But this is looking super delicious and it smells fantastic. And in about 1 more minute, dinner will definitely be ready. All right, friends, those were our dinners this week. In case you're wondering why we only had 3 meals or what we did the other nights, for my husband's birthday, we did go eat at Longhorn Steakhouse. That is definitely one of his favorite places. Super disappointed they didn't have the lamb chops. They're a seasonal item and they are gone for this year. That is definitely his favorite. Not gonna lie, I love them too. But I did finally get the Parmesan crusted chicken. I've never tried it, but I hear great things. Oh my gosh, I think that's the best chicken dish I've ever had. It was incredible. I've seen a few people here on YouTube that make their own like at-home version, you know, a takeout, fake out. So I'm gonna be researching that because I think I would really like to give that a shot. My mom also sent home some food when I went to go drop the boys off on Monday. She made a huge lunch and it was just my parents and myself and my little ones. And so she sent home dinner for that night, which was awesome because it meant I didn't have to cook. So I just didn't have to cook this week. It's been busy, you know, and I mean, it was great that I didn't have to. I'm really blessed that we had food for my parents and that we were able to go out like that. So no complaints, but next week I'll be back at it in the kitchen with a few more meals. Hopefully I can at least knock out 4. All right, guys, I hope you've had a wonderful weekend. I can't believe it's winding down and Monday's right around the corner. I can assure you, even though I filmed this a little bit in advance, I am dreading Monday, just like everyone else. It is our first day back at school. I always get excited about a new school year. It's gonna be 3rd grade, but also we've been off for 3 weeks, so I'm like, ooh, we gotta get up early and get dressed and do the school, and you know how it is, right? It's nice to have a little break. It's hard to get back in the swing of things, but I'm also looking forward to it. 3rd grade's a whole new land of opportunity for my kids. So you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see you Tuesday with my grocery haul. Bye.